Hello, welcome to my channel, Conscious Growing. I'm Matthias. Welcome to a new video. So today's topic is go through the storm. So what do I mean by that? It means that whenever you have chronic conditions, you naturally go through lots of ups and downs. And especially when we have these difficult days, everybody knows that there are lots of emotions, lots of sensations, and sometimes it's really hard to bear. And from there, sometimes it isn't easy to see a way out. And the more I'm in this process now, the more I observe for myself that the healing and the progress really lies in these difficult moments, difficult days, or sometimes even weeks or months. Fortunately, I passed these times where it took me months, that was just in the beginning, and even weeks, but I can admit that I still have difficult days, and slowly I get new insights. And what I share now, it's not surprising. It's not surprising because one of the main great rules meant for anxiety and also for symptoms, and very often this is in a combination, or the sensations themselves cause anxiety. That's quite common. And this usually is always related to the emotions and moods we are in. And so the most natural thing is when symptoms come up, fear comes up, anxiety comes up, we easily end up in this roller coaster of emotions, of physical sensations. And to go through the storm means, first of all, to accept it when you see it coming, and to face it, to not trying to distract yourself, and just see it as energy. Because I think the very resistance is firing all the sensations up, and it's causing more despair and more anxiety and negative thoughts. And when you're on this path for a while now, you surely got the idea already that it's important to stay calm, and to allow to stay calm and let sensations come, and really important how you react on it. But sometimes it's so overwhelming, and strong emotions come up, and it seems like impossible to go through it. And so the self-management is really important in these moments. And I find that when I feel I have these difficult times, difficult moments, difficult hours, or difficult 1 or 2 days, I really try not to fight it. And one of the things I do, and this is what I got from this Claire Weeks book, and it really works. I really can say this is the only thing you can use it, because as some of you might know, she's using the idea of facing what's there, not fighting it, allowing it, accepting it. As you know, I spoke a lot about accepting, and then float through it. And floating through it really means to be with your body, try where you can be more loose and limp. And for many, it's like this weird, crazy symptoms that are going through the body. And it's instead of distracting yourself and also not running away from it, you just face it. You accept it. You accept the sensation to be there. You even, as I just said, you are even open your body as good as possible, and you invite it to let it come. And it is if the sensations, they act out themselves in the body. It's not dangerous. It's usually adrenaline and it's cortisol that is acting itself out. It's not dangerous. It can't kill you. It can't do you any harm. The only thing is, if you fight it, then it's firing up and will get stronger, and then this will cause more resistance, and it will cause more pains and sensations. So we want to retrain our system, and to retrain it means that we learn to allow what's going on in this particular moment, and to allow it, to float through it, to not fight it, to let the physical sensation do whatever they want to do. You give full permission. I know it sounds crazy for some of you, but from my perspective, it's the only way to deal with it. Anything else is just resistance. But the good news is, with time, you make the experience that these sensations are not that horrible as they seemed in the beginning, when they were overwhelming. And this way of letting them come is really self-empowering, because you don't run away anymore. You just let it happen. And in this TMS world, there's lots of talk about indifference, to meet them indifferent. And indifference, from my point of view, means you can be indifferent, and when you see I have enough physical energy, I can say, okay, I'm doing this now, the sensations are there, and I can be indifferent to them. But to build up this kind of attitude and this kind of stamina is also possible while you're just sitting there or just lying there. And it's kind of, you just turn the coin before you run away, And now you let the storm come, and you are ready to let it come and let it work through your system, and you are open. And then that happens what happens. And naturally, every storm ends at a certain point. It's these storms outside on this planet, and it's the same like with the storms within. So if we are able not to add all kinds of stories, all kinds of worried ideas, and just creating this calm environment in ourselves and let it come, the storm will pass sooner or later. And I think in these moments, the recovery is, how can I say, in these moments, the recovery gets the right direction. Because if you can stay calm and present in the most difficult moments, then you will conquer yourself back, that's for sure. And I say this because I had some stormy days, especially yesterday. And today there's something new. I'm calmer, I'm more awake, I feel more happy with myself. And I see that it was good to stay as calm as possible, to accept it. And as I shared in the video yesterday, that old memories and old emotions came up. It was good to go through it. It was good to soothe myself. Yeah, it's not only, we don't have to be the Zen monk who's just sitting there and let it all go through him. This attitude is fantastic, but also I find the attitude really necessary and fantastic to see when old things come up, to soothe ourselves, to nourish ourselves. This is as important. And combined with this kind of attitude and nourishing ourselves, we can make great progress on this path. Because what is happening, we get stronger on one hand, but we also get more kind with ourselves. So this inner strength is getting better. On the other hand, we're getting softer with more compassion for ourselves. And I guess, and I think this is the first step, because many of us, when we go through this, we are so hard on ourselves. I mentioned that yesterday, I don't go further into it again, but when you are able to build up a new relationship to yourself, then this is the most wonderful thing that can happen, because if you develop this kind of new qualities in you, this will reflect and will interact with the outer world, with other people. Because through this, the energy gets higher. We have the opportunity to move from victim mode and overachiever mode and people pleaser mood, just more to more self-compassion, more centered. Everything can happen. And this will strengthen ourselves. And I guess this is the main purpose of this whole journey. Everybody in its own unique way It's natural that sometimes we fail, sometimes we don't have the answer. But according to this video, I'm really sure that when you can stay calm, when you can stay present, when you can allow everything to happen as long as it needs, when you decide for this kind of inner attitude, this will bring fruits sooner or later because you get stronger. Yeah. And what's really important on top of it is not to go into the story. Don't go into the story. What do I mean by that? I mean, when we are in the storm, so to speak, everything is winding up. Emotions can be really strong. You can feel lots of strong emotions, like fear, like anger, like despair, like grief, and some more. And when these strong emotions come up, while you're in the storm, allow them to happen, feel them, allow them to be there, allow the strong emotions to be there, whatever it is. Just allow it. Just see it, identify it for yourself, but learn not to put a story on top of it. It's just a pure sensation, nothing else. And when the storm is over, do something you like to do. Do something good for you. Don't push yourself. Just feel for a moment after the storm and just feel, what do I need now? What do I want now? What do I really want? And then do it. This is retraining of the brain. And yeah, I think this is really important to not put a story on top of it, because this can easily happen. And for example, even if old stories pop up, it's really important not to fuel them. Just see them. Maybe you see yourself in this situation as a little child. Parent yourself, as I mentioned yesterday. Be nice to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Anyway, be gentle most of the times, as much as you can. Whatever you do, you can always be gentle to yourself. At least you can try. And this kind of energy will bring us out of the fear and despair and other uncomfortable moods and sensations. And the last thing I want to say about this is, it is also a decision. It's always a decision. And when old uncomfortable energies come up, you can decide if you want to go into these energies and feed them further, or you can decide not only to stay calm, what I just mentioned, I don't need to repeat it, but I want to say that it's also about your how do you direct yourself, and how do you speak to yourself in between. Words are really important. Self-talk is really important. We are all aware that there are lots of negative thoughts, but what I feel and see is you can react quite well to the symptoms, more neutral. This is really perfect and really important. And you can have the knowledge about the nervous system issues. Very important to have this background, these two things. But if you don't have a good self-talk, if you bombarding your brain with negative thoughts all day long, or most of the times, these first two won't help you. It's also really important to find a new way of thinking, away from negativity, and as much as you are able to find new words and new ways of talking to yourself, gradually it will leave you, the negativity, I mean. This is what I experience and this is what I share. And I think the more we come to a new kind of energy in us, it will get stronger and stronger and stronger. And the negativity has to go sooner or later. There's no other way. And you are the creator of this. You can be the master of it. You decide each and every moment which way do you want to go, down the rabbit hole or right into a brighter future. And this is not empty words, this is what I deeply mean and experience more and more. And this is what I want to share with you today. So there's hope, and don't give up in these difficult moments. Use it to get stronger. This will bring you out. If you can stay steady and calm and nice to yourself, this is the medicine. I deeply believe this. So that's it for today. If you're interested in more videos, subscribe my channel. I do the videos in German and in English. Most of them in German, it's my mother tongue. But even if you don't speak or understand German, you can use subtitles if you're interested in the German ones as well. And yeah, I hope that it can help. And if you have something to share, I'd be really pleased and hope to see you soon. Bye bye for now.